these potential,
Yeah.
both things you could just ignore.
Yeah.
All right, here's my presentation to the class. Who attacked Genosha
There
by
will
Final
there will be a
Monkey in
there
seventh
will be
grade?
there will be a test at the end.
So I think we'll pull each of these up, and this is kind of in order. I was going to put Onslaught on the list, and I was like, no, Onslaught's it's too much. It can't. I really would be surprised if it was Onslaught.
I it there
They would be mentioning Xavier a lot more, or showing him if it was
yeah.
Onslaught. I feel.
Now he's not on your list. What is your? I mean, I guess that's your answer then.
It feels like Onslaught is too big. Like that's too big. It's a separate storyline. Is how I
Plus,
feel.
like if I'm an X-Men fan, like this Bo DeMaio guy is, if I'm an X-Men fan, I'm not going to do Onslaught. You know,
Onslaught has one of the best first chapters, where they resolve the X Trader thing, and then it just goes downhill from there. that first issue where they figure out that Xavier is the bad guy is so good,
yeah.
and then it just all falls apart. All right, go to our first candidate. Apocalypse. I do not want this to be Apocalypse. They are
No.
dropping hints that this is Apocalypse. A lot of the visions that Madeline Pryor's been having is like rats crawling over dead bodies and stuff. Very apocalyptic visions. And it involves Cable. Ever since episode 1, when she had her first vision of the guy in the dust, it was Cable saying that he's coming, he's coming. It's.
I would hate it.
I would hate it too. If this was the first time we're seeing Apocalypse, it would be pretty cool. But they have overused him way too much on X-Men animated series. Is probably my biggest complaint.
And so bringing it back to Jonathan Hickman, Jonathan Hickman wrote one scene with Apocalypse in House of X that just encapsulates Apocalypse, which is they're coming up with the bylaws of Krakoa. And then they look at Apocalypse, who is one of the council members, and they're like, are you going to play ball with us? Are you going to be okay with this? And Apocalypse says, this affects me in no way whatsoever. I've always wanted the mutants to be the reigning species. So, like, him attacking mutants, it just doesn't sit right with me. Like, him being the cause for Operation Zero Tolerance, that is not Apocalypse. Apocalypse wants mutants to thrive more than anyone else. He wants mutants to thrive more than Magneto does.
Yeah. I really do not want it to be him. Like I said, part of it also is the final appearance of Apocalypse in the X-Men animated series was not that good. It was kind of like this 4-part confusing storyline. It's just like, okay, we've had enough.
Yeah. Yeah, not Apocalypse, please. No, thank you. Who do we got next? Executioner?
Strife. This is Cable's clone.
That's right. Okay, yeah.
So if you're doing the story of Cable, I mean, I don't remember him being on X-Men animated series. He may have appeared. I can't remember. But if you're doing the beginning of Cable's story, it would make sense to bring Strife in. I don't want it to be Strife, but if you were going to do it, this is kind of the time to do it.
I just looked up. So Strife makes a non-speaking cameo appearance in X-Men the Animated Series Beyond Good and Evil Part 4, which means he was probably one of the... You remember how, like, in that last episode with the Apocalypse Saga, where they had like a bunch of the telepaths come together?
Yeah.
So they had Psylocke show up out of nowhere, and
so
in non-speaking appearances.
So I think Strife is a villain they haven't really used in a long time. And they have, but I think it would be shocking for the cartoon to who's doing this, and they unmask him as Cable's face, and they'll be like, "What?" It would be if you don't know your X-Men history, it'd be kind of a shocking moment for
Yeah.
the audience. So I could
I'll
I
be
could see that. I just don't think it's the answer.
honestly, even if you do know your X-Men history, you may not know this character. So
Yeah, and there was when he appeared, there was debate about wait, is this the child of Scott and Maddie, or is it Cable? Which one is the actual child? And that was a big debate for a while. And which
uh,
one's the clone?
another thing that this could lead into is, I don't know if you remember, but Strife did have a hand in the Messiah trilogy.
Yeah, my memory of the Messiah trilogy is vague. I haven't actually read all of that, so I know like the story beats, but I don't know all of it. So
Hmm.
and also we're dealing with Sunspot. Sunspot was part of X Force. Strife's an X Force villain, but I feel like
Yeah,
they'd be introducing more New Mutants before they did that. So
I'll be
and maybe
honest. If Phantom X shows up in this show, it's the best show ever. I'll just go ahead and say that. Like,
Phantom X is great. Uh, I could see after this, like all the children from Genosha that they were showing a lot of kids in Genosha, a lot of the teenagers. I could see all of them becoming students at the school if you're going the Grant Morrison route. They're going to have the big school, and like maybe we saw a preview of the students that are going to be heading that way.
yeah,
Um, so yeah, I
but
think I think
but
Strife makes sense just because we're dealing with Cable being sent to the future, and that's part of the story. I don't think it's Strife. So
do you? If it is like, obviously, if it
I
is
won't I won't be mad if it's Strife. I'll be
if
like,
it
okay,
if it's Apocalypse, this is a bad show that doesn't understand X-Men. But Strife is okay with you at least.
yeah, I could see
Okay.
Strife. He hates Cable. He probably hates Madeline for sending him into the future because he thinks he's their baby. It would make sense that he kills his mom. That would make perfect sense.
Yeah. This is it.
Magneto.
This is it. This is the answer.
Caleb really thinks it's Magneto.
This is
I
the answer.
I think the one scene that makes me think it's not Magneto is where he's having the flashbacks that says never again. That's the only thing that makes me think this was not something he planned. That um, just because we saw his imagery and him just freaking out over all the dead people.
Okay, I can get on board with that, I guess.
However,
This is something he would do.
well, okay, first comic book wise, the start of Grant Morrison's story, Magneto gets killed at Genosha, and then Zorn shows up as a student at the school, and
Yeah.
it's Magneto, and so he may not be behind it, but he's taking advantage of the situation. I don't think he's dead. I actually, yeah, I do not think he's dead.
Do you think Zorn shows up?
Yeah, I kind of do. Um, I will say this: if Val Cooper turns out to be Mystique, then Magneto's 100% behind this. And Mystique and Magneto have been manipulating the situation from the beginning. Val Cooper and Magneto working together, then it's 100% Magneto. And Val
Yeah.
Cooper or Mystique is always impersonating government officials like all the
Yeah.
time. It's a very X-Men thing for her to do. And Val Cooper has been in almost every episode. So they've really quickly made her a very important character this season.
Yeah.
It would not surprise me at all if she is Mystique. So
Has she impersonated her in the comics? I don't believe so. Like
I'm trying to remember.
in like a big story arc.
No, she was always Colonel Raven or something in the comics. There was some
Right.
government official she was always impersonating during this time period with the Forge Storm stuff going on.
Right. Right.
Um, but yeah, if Val Cooper is Mystique, then they manipulated the Magneto trial, like everything. They've been manipulating the X-Men. Also Magneto shows up and says, "Oh, I'm in the will." That could have been fake. Everything could have been fake, and Magneto could have been
Now,
manipulating them from day one.
now, what is his agenda then?
He believes that okay. Here's another thing. He sets up Genosha because at the final episode of the X-Men animated series, he's setting up Genosha where he's starting to make them into an army. Fast forward X-Men 97, it's now a peaceful blah blah blah. He knows that he may not be behind the attacks, but he knows that if he puts all the mutants together like this is a target and somebody's going to hit it, and then he can take advantage of that situation. So maybe he has something to do with the attack, but he knew that they would be attacked at some point, and then he would prove that Charles is wrong. Because here's mutants just chilling out and doing nothing, and they got hit. So, yeah, I'll play along, Xavier, with your dream, but my answer's right. We could not ever be friends to humans. We have to wipe them out. So maybe he didn't do the attack, but he knew the attack was coming.
Yeah. Which, I mean, like...
That I agree with. I don't agree with that he's behind it.
I mean, like... Even if it's not malicious, of course he knows it's coming. Like his firm belief is humanity will always attack us.
Yes.
So like even if it comes to the point where like even if it comes to the point where it's not him, and and it's even if it's not malicious, he knew it would happen.
And if Magneto is revealed to be alive in a couple episodes, there's no way him and Rogue are a couple going forward. Rogue has chosen Gambit at this point when he died. It's over.
Thank God.
Yeah, so I don't think he's dead. I don't think he's behind it. If he is behind it, then he's behind everything that's happened this season.
But, do you think that it's possible for him to be alive and not have something malicious, like prior to the attack? Like,
yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Do you think that
like he's finally buying into Xavier's dream? That's kind of what happened in the comic books. He was kind of buying into it until he couldn't buy into it anymore. Like he got pushed too far, and
but what I'm saying is, do you he's not involved whatsoever? He has bought into Xavier's dream, and he, this is truly peaceful. This is all sincere. Is he still, with that idea in mind, is he still alive? Or if he is still alive, let's say in a couple episodes he comes back and he's still alive and he is acting, as the same characters we've seen, is that sincere? Is what I'm saying.
No, I think if he's alive, I think he may be gravely injured. Maybe the Morlocks are nursing him back to health or something. When he comes back, he's going to be classic Magneto and just destroying everybody. This is it. The humans and Charles had their chance. They were clearly wrong. The X-Men way is not the way. And it's just going to be war on humanity. So that's what I think. I don't think he's behind the attack, but if he is, then that's really crazy writing and Mystique's involved, and there's a lot more going on.
Yeah.
So, next candidate.
This is the correct answer, actually.
The only reason I don't think it's Cassandra Nova is because Cable said he is coming. It didn't say she is coming. That's the only reason I don't think it's Cassandra Nova, because in the comic books, it was Cassandra Nova.
Do you think that... Do you think they'll play into the fact that she's bald? And be like, he is coming. No, it's a female and she's just bald.
No, and the other reason I don't think it's Cassandra Nova is, spoilers, she's the villain in Deadpool 3, or she's playing a part in Deadpool 3.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the other I can't see. It'd be really bad on Disney's part to make her the villain in two things.
I mean, is that bad or is that product synergy?
It could be. It could be that they want to introduce this character before Deadpool 3, so more of the audience knows about her. And maybe they
Or
could hype up the movie more, say, "Oh, you remember this character you liked, X-Men 97? Well, she's in Deadpool 3."
yeah,
You know,
and maybe she's not the villain. Maybe she's just in it.
yeah. Um,
Um,
so Cassandra Nova, for those who don't know, is Charles Xavier's
twin
kind
sister.
kind of twin sister that was in the womb that Charles choked to death or something goofy. It's kind of a psychic twin sister or something. They had a name for it, like Imondi or something. I can't remember what it was called. It's something weird. Um, it's based on some ancient mythology, but she is.
Oh, here it is. Here it is. Mumadry or something like that.
Yes. And it's I don't know if Grant Morrison made that up or if it's actually based on actual mythology, but she is a very nasty character, and you do not want to mess with Cassandra Nova.
And what's insane, if I recall correctly, E is for Extinction happens, and then she doesn't show up for like another 100 issues.
Yeah, she's kind of plotting in the background, and I really need to go back and reread Grant Morrison's
It's
X-Men.
it's the best. I love it.
Yeah. She's the most. If Cable did not say he is coming, I would swear it's Cassandra Nova. She may be working with the other person who I think it is, who we'll get to in just a minute.
What if it's what if it is what if it's Cassandra Nova in Charles Xavier's body, like just like just working like that? Like he is coming means Charles Xavier, but it's actually Cassandra Nova.
I could see that. Like I could see that being the season finale that Xavier just shows up, and then we get this shocking reveal that wait, this isn't Xavier, this is Cassandra Nova. Because she did do a lot with the Shi'ar Empire, if I recall.
Yep.
And that's where Xavier is right now. So if you want to end this season on a cliffhanger where they're dealing with the threat, let's go ahead and show the number one. This is who I think it is. This is Bastion. He is the combination of Nimrod and Master Mold. They got merged together. The season starts with Master Mold. It is Sentinels. The Forge episode from last week or week before showed a picture on the wall. Bastion's in one of the pictures on the wall. And a guy that looks very much like Bastion walks by the camera very quickly at the Hellfire Gala. I'm almost 90% sure it's Bastion. And the
What
finale is called Extinction Tolerance or whatever it's called. What's it called?
tolerance is extinction.
And he is part of the Operation Zero Tolerance story in the comics.
That's almost why. You know what? I think you're right. I think it's both of them.
I could see Bastion and Cassandra Nova working together.
The
or
way
them using each other. Yes, I
yeah.
could definitely see that.
So the way I would actually view it is them working together, but I'm leaning more towards Cassandra Nova having like the ultimate power in that.
Yeah, I could see the finale be about Bastion, and then have Xavier show up at the end and reveal that, oh no, Xavier, Cassandra Nova's been behind all this, and then that's going to lead into season 2. I could see that. I do have to give props. This is not my theory. I wish it was. I was watching New Rock Stars, and when they started pointing out that Bastion's everywhere, I was like, oh yeah, it is definitely Bastion. There's no question that it's Bastion.
So whenever Cable says he is coming, you think he's talking about Nimrod?
Or maybe the Tri-Sentinel, Bastion, Master Mold, Cable. Yeah, I mean, or Nimrod. Yeah, they're all the same thing. It's
well,
he is coming.
So what I'm thinking is like maybe Nimrod, like maybe Tolerance's extinction is about Cable chasing Nimrod back to the present, and he's trying to stop Nimrod from fusing with Master Mold.
Could be. You're starting a robot, by the way. Speaking of robots.
Mutant threat terminated.
That was beautiful. He sounded just like himself.
I'm gonna go ahead and exit real quick, and I'll be right back.
Okay. But yeah, Bastion, like I was saying, makes the most sense. He's a character that's not used that often. He hasn't been in the X-Men movies yet. I really think it is Bastion, especially with the first episode dealing with them going to face Master Mold.